because we're here in Liberia, of course, celebrating the 200th bicentennial of this country. And we've been having different conversations during our visit. And so I want to talk about economics, and not from the government perspective, but also from the private sector, from the business perspective. And so when we had the VIP dinner on our first night, ran across this sister who was a CEO, and I said, well, look, I said, let's chat. And then I went to her LinkedIn, and I swear she got about 15 businesses. And I said, what's going on here? I said, it has to be a great conversation. And so Rema Fawaz said, sure, I would love to sit down and chat with you. Come on out to my facility, one of her many different ones, and that's where we are right now. And so let's have this conversation. How you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. And you?
I'm doing great. So, Virtue Companies, I'm pronouncing correct?
Virtue Group of Companies.
Virtue?
Group of Companies.
Got it, okay.
Yeah.
First of all, how did that start? Where did it originate from?
It started 8 years ago when I came back from Lebanon and decided to relocate to Liberia. Started off by opening a restaurant, a continental restaurant. And after a year of running that, diversified into construction.
Okay.
And then on and on.
So it was a restaurant.
Yes.
There was a construction company.
Right.
Then what else?
Then we got into mining. We did artisanal mining. And then after, we decided to go into agriculture while doing the mining. And then decided to also open a foundation. Because, everything came handy. Being in the rural area, doing farming and mining, then you see that you need to help more. And then new ideas comes up, and decided to do a foundation.
So you said you moved from Lebanon, but you're Liberian.
Yes, but I with the war, we all moved different places. During 2003, I moved from Liberia to the Ivory Coast, then Lebanon, and where I stayed for like 6 years and decided to relocate back home. Yeah.
So we'll talk about the business. I'm going to come back to that. But give us a sense of what was life like in Liberia pre-Civil War?
Well, I was very little when the war took place. So most times when I'm asked the question, where did you grow up, I get confused because I was very young, and then we had to run to the nearby country, Guinea, and the Ivory Coast, but Guinea first, where I stayed like 3-4 years with my mom, and then moved to back to Liberia and got married, and then I had to relocate to Lebanon because there was a little bit of conflict going on. There was not really perfect stability at the time, so I had to go back. And then came back in 2006.
And so because the war took what, 15 years?
Yeah.
So it ended probably a couple of years before you came back.
Right. And so when I came back, there was a little bit of stability, and then we thought everything was okay. Then 2003, something happened, so it was like on and off. It was not like the real war before, but it was not stable. So then I went through my divorce and moved to Ghana, where I established my first business. But before that, Liberia was not what it is now. After coming back after the war, it was really bad. But
you had massive destruction.
Bad roads.
Thousands who died as well, and so you literally had this crown jewel of Africa that was destroyed in many ways and had to be reconstructed.
Right. And so when we had the first stable government, elected government, which is Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, there was a lot of changes that took place comparing to when I came back in 2006 from Ghana. because I came first, 2006, and tested the waters, thought I could stay. I actually moved all of my business here, and then realized that I could not even drive like 10 miles per hour. And I was so frustrated. I was like, no, I have to go back, take my kids out of here, go to the neighboring Ivory Coast, maybe learn a little bit of French, then I can come back when things are much better, which I did. So I left and came back, and much, much better. You know, roads are good now. I can speed because I'm a fast driver. You know, and going to my mom's village used to take weeks, sometimes months.
Really?
Yes. Now it takes me 3 hours.
Whoa,
so I can go and come back.
Now it takes 3 hours.
Yes.
It used to take weeks or months?
Weeks or months.
See, that's the thing that when look, I've been gone twice. First time here in Liberia, but I've had conversations with other African leaders, and that's the thing that so many people take for granted. People talk about, you know, restaurants, this, that, and the other, but things as basic as roads, that changes cities and counties, that changes countries. For many Americans, look, they were born, their roads are already there, but there was a time when you had rural America, you didn't have roads and bridges, and all of a sudden you were pretty much cut off from the rest of the country.
Right. So road connectivity, like you just stated, is very, very, very essential. I wouldn't have ventured into everything that I'm doing now if there was no road connectivity. Of course, we still need more. We need so much more done, but I'm the kind of person that try to appreciate the little good in everything because it's important, because you always have to build on that.
Right.
And you can do it, one person cannot do it all. So, and development is continuity. So we're hoping, and we see that there's even more going on with our new government. We see other developments going on, and movement is much smoother. Yes.
I mean, as a business owner, the reality is those are things that you need in order to grow business. You talked about the village where you grew up, where it used to take weeks and months, now it's 3 hours.
Right.
You mentioned all the different businesses with agriculture. What are y'all growing? And is that happening in the village where you grew up?
Yes, it's happening in the village. That's a little bit of challenge up to now because we have the main road from here, like 2 hours drive, which is perfect drive, and then we get off.
And when getting off,
then that's where the real, deal is.
So when it's dry weather, you're fine.
Yeah.
When it's rain,
even with dry weather right now this year is scary.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's still manageable. Still manageable. We're still talking about community development. We're talking amongst ourselves on how we can maintain the road until the government can take it to the next level. But from my village to my farm is also another challenge. So what I did a few years ago was I had to take on the responsibility to open a road that was open for the first time in 1977. And so you can imagine since 1977 to 2001, so it was all forests and everything. So I had to open that road.
You did it?
Yes, I had to.
Because?
I had to. That's my grandfather's land, and we also have neighboring farmers. So I opened it in a way where we could all access, But we still do have some challenges, moving the crops from farm to market. Most times, if you don't have easy access, what happens. Things go bad, losses, and all that.
So how does somebody who majors in fashion end up construction, agriculture, restaurant? I mean, what? Were you bored, or did you say, I have all these interests. I'm just gonna do multiple businesses?
Yeah, I think the thing is I'm a multitasker. I get bored easily, And I see possibilities and opportunities in everything. So started in fashion, was married, and then needed to just...
Was it a fashion business in Ghana?
No. Yeah, in Ghana,
right.
yes. Yes, but the
where
school...
Where you made clothes?
Yeah, but the school came after Ghana.
Ah.
So I actually got some of my inspiration from there.
So you were making clothes,
yes,
and then decided to go to a fashion school.
I had a partner that lived in New York, and she was a model. So we kind of collaborated because I had the space,
right.
I had a nice lounge in a restaurant, then I had a fashion boutique in there, and then I started making my own little clothes. So when she came by, she loved the idea because my boutique opened only during the night. We don't open the store during the day. Yeah, restaurants open during the day and everything, but the fashion side of it is open during the night.
Wow.
So we used to do like fashion shows and then put our stuff on display. So she was like, I'm interested. I'd like to work with you. So we collaborated and had our own fashion line, which was called Rema Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Though it was my name.
Rema Fame.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how we called it.
Now, do you still make clothes?
Yes, but occasionally, not at the level that I want to take it later, because it's my passion. So
you want to go back to expanding that part of your enterprise?
Yes, that's going to be the fun part of it. Yeah, where you can come from the bush and from the farm, and then get into another building and just be a different person, beautiful, nice in different clothing, and just show the difference in between there, that you can enjoy both lives.
What is the condition? What is the situation here for business owners, for entrepreneurs? Are you getting the kind of growth that you expected? Are you seeing people excited about starting their own ventures and building them up? And then what kind of assistance is the government giving?
Okay. First of all, let me start with the last question. So far, no assistance from the government. I'm not complaining, but there's no assistance from the government since I started my business. But with my personal business that I've started 7 years ago, 8 years ago, at this point in time, my expectations was not what it is right now. Because when I started...
You mean, were they bigger or smaller?
No, they were bigger, they were better, they were moving. I mean, there was prospect. You had hope that, okay, there's stability in my country now, development's going on. Now we have a younger, government coming in play. So, it can only get better, And then, so we started since 2012 in Liberia, and that was like the growing stage for us. So in 2018, I thought, okay, I'm not there yet, but I can now sit and observe a little bit and see what I've worked on, see how that is going to play out.
Right.
And then COVID came. So COVID came, we had all of this open.
So you were moving.
Yeah.
You had this upward trajectory.
Yeah.
Multiple businesses are going fine. And just like, look, 41% of black businesses went out of business during COVID.
Right.
COVID hits and...
Bang. Yeah, so that's what happened. I think you can see from the building when you entered. But this building was actually constructed for maybe a future university or a hospital, just lease out the stores to different multiple businesses. But because of COVID and everything else that's going on, we had to just be creative.
So when did you acquire this building?
I built it from scratch.
You built it from scratch?
Yes.
And so when you say it was supposed to be for school?
Yeah, I built it not to run it like what I'm doing now. I built it hoping that maybe somebody can take it and turn it into a nice university.
Right.
Or a hospital or an office building, Yeah, but we built it from scratch. This construction started from scratch.
And then when you move in, then what did you put? So this was a open restaurant
No, it was an empty land, and then I decided in 2014 to start something, like a structure, because with construction, the projects don't come consistently. And in Liberia, you can't just do one business because sustainability is it's a little, so you have to do something to kind of support the other businesses. So when I noticed construction...
So you got to build one business to support the other business.
Well, not 100%, but you have to have that balance or something to fall back on just in case.
Or as we say, you got your primary and you got a side hustle.
Right. So, exactly. So the construction was my primary.
And what became your side hustle?
Building a multi-purpose building and trying to, lease out or open maybe construction, building materials.
Right.
Since I'm into construction.
Because don't you have another building down the street? We saw a Virtue something. We saw a sign down. So this is your only building here?
Yeah, this is my only building right on this part of the road. But going further up, that one I don't have a sign there.
Okay.
I don't have a sign there, but I have a property on the beach there.
Ah, I got it.
That I'm trying to turn into a little boutique hotel. That was supposed to be my residence. So, and it's right on the beach. So very beautiful scenery. Yeah. So for this one, this is the only building on.
So what would you say? So there's somebody. I know people have been doing this here. Folks, they've moved to Nigeria. People are moving to Ghana. People are leaving the United States. If there's the person who's watching or listening to this, and that idea, hey, you know what? I'm thinking about moving to Liberia to open a business. What do they need to know and understand?
First thing is you have to find someone on the ground with experience. And that's the mistake a lot of us make. Because when we come back, we're so excited about the opportunities.
You got an idea,
yeah,
but it's the reality.
The reality is there. You have to speak to someone like me that have had the first hands-on experience.
So what you're saying is, don't come here trying to build nothing and you don't talk to Rema. Because your construction company, what do you build?
I do structures,
right,
and I do maintenance of roads and,
but when you say also talk to someone who's on the ground, you have to understand the dynamics of, it's like somebody may have an expectation for workers. And we were talking earlier, and you said, not necessarily what you think it's going to be.
Right, like any other country. It's not only with Liberia, but, like any other country. When you come to do something, sometimes you think the unskilled workers are reasonable and they're easy to maintain, so you take them in and then you get carried away and you invest so much and only to get what you didn't pay for.
So it's part of the issue in this country. You mentioned earlier how young it is, the lack of skill set.
Yeah.
And so skill set development is vital.
It's very vital. Like I'm the chair lady for the female construction contractors in Liberia.
How many here?
We're like 50, 60. Maybe more, but the ones that are registered with the association.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is one thing that I always try to push on the table, that we need to go down to the ground level and stop thinking our job is at the office level. It's not the office thing. You have to get dirty.
You could create a company, but at the end of the day, you got to have skilled workers who are handling the projects to get them done right.
And that is harming us seriously, because when those things happen, the only thing you hear is Liberian construction contractors don't know their jobs. And that's not the case, because I have an eye for what I really want, and I know what I want. But you're the skill guy. So if I tell you this is what I want, and you give me what I didn't ask for, then I'm like, and these are bricks, you can't just break them so easily because they're very expensive to build. So I tell my people at the association that I think the one way to fix this problem is to go into the fields, find the unskilled workers, and kind of work closely with them. I
So
know
are you-
trainings and, other internships and all of those things are going to be very vital to improve.
So are
that.
there apprentice programs? Are there, because you talked about, hopefully this potentially being a university. So are you saying that also a need is having a very structured program to teach folks plumbing,
Very
electrician,
Oh.
and so now all of a sudden you've got 100 people going through the program every year. Let's say it's a 1-year program.
Right.
Now they've been trained. Now they can come. Now folks like you can hire them.
Right.
The next crop come in to learn that skill set.
Correct. That's what we need. We need that so badly, especially when it comes to finishing. Like when I travel out of the country, I'm touching people's walls. I'm like, but why can't I was here? Why? So it's my major until sometimes.
So you going to people's houses going,
Yeah. I'm like, and they know how to do it, but I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess.
well, but it's simple.
Yeah.
If you don't have the skill set, you don't have it.
Yeah.
That's the point of skill set. If
Right.
you've got a high skill set, then you can deliver on what it is
Sure.
on the person's vision.
So having a university that can just focus on finishing and sometimes maybe even giving them scholarship after they've completed the courses here to go out there and just see how it really is, like how it really looks when it comes to life, and also get some other professionals to come down. Like the Mexicans, sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get money so I can be able to afford to bring some of these Mexicans and stuff from America to come and teach our people on how to do proper finishing and also to get all of the right materials needed for that.
So the opportunity for African Americans would be if you're in the construction area or in the teaching area,
Correct.
you can come teach
Yes.
and build.
Yes.
That is, it was interesting when we were at the Monrovia Day celebration. You were there as well, and it was amazing to hear the MC say that 75% of Monrovia are young people. Listening to the mayor, listening to others talk about having such a young country, but to your point, not being skilled, and so now all of a sudden you've got high literacy rate, you've got economic issues, and so these are folks who want jobs. They want to make money, but if I don't know how to do anything, then you sort of have a difficulty because you're trying to build something, but you need people.
Right.
You need staff.
Yeah. And you will have all of our young people, a lot of them in the ghetto, high on drugs. And that's one thing that is affecting, our young population. It's a very serious issue. So every time I drive down the street, I'm like, I see all these strong young men, out there. So now you have more women trying to do stuff that men do, that men are supposed to be doing for them or with them, So that's one of the depressing part. And like the ambassador said, yes, a lot of the population, maybe 75%, are young people. Yeah, so, and I think we talked a little bit about it this morning before the interview. You were like, well, how did that happen? And I said, I think it's because of the war. People lost their parents, kids went astray, and you had young children having children. So there was no education, there's nothing, nobody, it's like you're not able to teach your child, all of the fundamentals of, of
And
life.
for you, you had mother and father.
Yes, but they were separated since I was a baby. So I spent most time with my mother and a few times with my father. But I didn't have much opportunity with my dad because right after kindergarten, first grade, then the war came. So he went back to Lebanon and I had to run through the forest with my mom. And we lived as a refugee in Guinea for years. So, yeah.
So,
You still don't get. I still didn't get the feel of having a real, that family.
Right.
Yeah.
So when people think about, we talk about Liberia becoming the first republic here on the continent of Africa, some 12,000 freed and enslaved folks coming here. So you had, from 1822, you had all of this progress, all of these things happening. Then you go through the 20th century, and Tubman becomes president, and often referred to as the father of Liberia. And these things happen, and the close relationship with the United States of America and other African nations are looking towards Liberia as as the symbol of greatness. I was looking at the Ducor Hotel and listening to the minister talk about how this was the crown jewel of Africa, sitting high atop the hill there, overlooking the ocean, this massive pool there as well, and now it's sitting there. Now it's ruined,
right? And
it's a fence around it. So for me, being on this hill and looking at it, and I'm going, I can only envision what this looked like, how magnificent it was, and how gorgeous it was. And so now you are in essence going back 50 plus years and now having to restore what Liberia already had.
So you're like, how can I be part of this change? And being an entrepreneur, if you're not careful, then you keep thinking, okay, I think I can solve this problem. I think I can fix this. I think I can do this. Because you hear from people, because I didn't enjoy that time in Liberia because I was still pretty young. But when I hear people talk about it, I'm like, so why can't we restore what we had? What's the hold on? Like, what is the problem? This is a very small country. It's infrastructure. Yes, I know it costs money. But I guess you just need the right person to say, okay, this is the time, to change this.
How are, in terms of financing the business, is it? Go ahead.
Most times.
First of all, when somebody goes, there's a story behind that.
So I'm like, you know what? My business is stalling. I need to reopen, and I need to start off from where I stopped, before COVID. Well, how can I do that? And people will be like, well, you got the property here. You can put it out for loan or something. Then I hear someone else come and say, you got to be careful, because most loans we take, we lose our properties. And then the interest rate is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
On loans?
Yes.
So are you and others essentially self-financing?
Yes.
And you're basically doing pay as you go.
Yes.
What comes in,
exactly.
pay for it?
That's what we're doing. We're calling Liberia hand to mouth. That's what we're doing now.
Because you're not getting assistance from the government.
No.
It's totally private sector.
It's totally private sector, and all of the private sector organizations that we try to work with, it's like everything is still a work in progress. You never know when something is gonna. So we just putting our eggs in different baskets, trying to be optimistic, and hoping that things can get better.
So now that we're not out of COVID, but are you seeing things being restored? And so what's now next for you? First of all, of your businesses that right now, what is still ongoing? What is still operating in?
The farm, we're maintaining the farm.
Got it.
We were unable to do new projects this year because with financial constraints. And the second thing is we have a mini water factory. So we produce like sachet waters. That is a hand to mouth. That's the one that's actually, taking care of the fuel, generator, salaries, repairs, and all that stuff.
How many people have you working for you?
I had about 13 here, but now I think we're down to 7 or 8.
And the farm?
The farm we had, you have contractors.
Right.
So we had like 100 contractors, and then we had 8 employees. So now we're left with 5 employees on the farm because we have to cut down everything.
Right.
Yeah. And then we subcontract.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what do you what do you see, let's say 5 years from now, 10 years from now, economically, what do you see? Where will this be? Where should this be? Where do you want it to be?
Well, 5 years from now, it's unpredictable. Like, it's kind of blurry. But I'm an optimistic person. I always look into the future as, something that can get better and that will be good. It will be better. Looking at the progress that the government is making now, trying to connect roads, the little improvements that are going around, is kind of giving us a little bit of hope. But we still long for more.
Of course.
And we hear that there's a lot of things in the pipeline. So that is kind of hopeful when you hear those things.
What do you hope comes out of this 200th bicentennial celebration and the effort to tell the Liberian story in the United States and globally?
What I expect of this bicentennial, which I really looked forward to, because when Ghana did theirs, I was kind of jealous in a good way. I was like,
I was there.
Yeah, Liberia is known to be the trendsetter in Africa because the AOU and all the other stuff. But why didn't we do this first? But then the reality hit me. Even with Ghana and all of their developments, I heard from some of the, returnees or, visitors that there was a lot of challenges.
Right.
And you can imagine how developed Ghana is right now compared to Liberia. So the reality hit me, and I'm like, okay, we're not ready yet. But when I heard that this was coming up for us, I was very happy. And I think more could have been done. I think we still have time to do more. But I hope the government can focus more on connecting those touristic places, because we have beautiful places in Liberia compared to a lot of other African countries around here. So if we can focus more on tourism and road connectivity, this will make a big difference. Because when people come from overseas or from the diaspora, they get fascinated by stuff they're not used to. They don't see on a day-to-day basis.
The culture, the scenery, all of that.
Right. But if you can take them out of Monrovia, and really show them the beauty of this country, that could be, something else.
Well, speaking of showing, now's your time to take me on this tour.
Okay.
So we'll go through the building and you'll explain. So I want you to show me what your vision is for this space that you've constructed.
Okay, and I wish we could go to my village, like I told you, because I have a very nice football club, and I have about 130 footballers, all young people, that I take care of all by myself also.
Really?
Yes, and
see, you should if they're in the club, you should have them on the skill side.
Yeah.
Have somebody teaching them carpentry and construction stuff.
Yeah, so we have a tent in the village because we can't afford to construct a, building right now, but it's a huge tent. And that tent was put there to start something like that. So
you have 3 kids of your own, but you got another 130 kids.
Yes, I do. 130 kids plus the ones here and the employees. Yeah, so. But
you got a lot of mouths to feed.
I know, but that's the best part of it. It makes you feel accomplished, makes you feel like you're giving back. Though it's very challenging, and sometimes you're like, but why am I doing this? I'm not, how they call that lady? Saint Mary, no, how do you call that Indian?
Oh, Mother Teresa?
I'm not Mother Teresa, you know. But then your heart, because you're someone that they look up to as an idol.
Right.
They want to be like you. You know, you give them so much hope. So you want to tell them, yeah, it's okay. You know you're here, but you're like, it's okay. You know, you can do it. You can be better than me. You know, so then you tend to take everything and, yeah, just keep expanding.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's go tour.
Yeah.
Come on, we'll walk this way.
Okay.
We'll go through. All right, Rema, come show me around what all these different things you had going on.
Let me take you around.
In Rema Land. Mm-hmm. or Virtue Enterprises.
Virtue Multipurpose Building.
Okay. All right. So what was happening in here?
So in here, just buying time, like I said, the initial, idea was to open like a building material in here, but like upscale building materials. Like selected items, nice lightings and chandeliers and all that stuff. But due to COVID, we couldn't, so we had to, do something else just to keep the building going. So we had a very nice pool room set up here. Very, very nice. Used to be really good before COVID.
Now, you said before COVID, this joint was packed.
Yeah, I used to have like 350 people come here. And sometimes I have to bring my living room chair and put it out.
You had to go to your house and bring some extra chairs?
Yes. The kids, the parents, and, we had everything going, and it was really good. So that was my office right there, so I'm able to observe and walk through. And so I built it having two things in mind, that I could run the businesses in here by myself or maybe lease to stores. So if I'm going to run it by myself, then I need to have access to all the stores. So I decided to put doors in between.
So the doors that go all the way down?
They go all the way down.
Okay.
So my office is here. I can come out here, monitor this, monitor whatever, and then walk through and then come back to my office.
So basically, this was like your
my walkway, my private walkway.
Or your hideaway.
My hideaway.
Yeah, so you all behind the scenes.
So everybody's over there, and I'm like observing without you knowing that I'm there.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, then. All right, so we're talking about, so how many total businesses are the one this floor?
Five different stores. So we had the VIP pool room. Set up here, and then we have the bar. The restaurant. And next door we have.
And you open what? 5 days a week? 6, 7 days a week?
7 days, literally.
Wow.
Yeah. And then this was the cafe.
So this is cafe. So what were you doing? What were you doing in here?
We sold ice cream. We had like a little pastry place, popcorn, juices. So this was the kids' favorite room.
Really?
So kids would come in here and then be so busy, but it was really a nice experience. We had like TV on the wall, so they come in and they can watch like cartoons. At the same time, we had chairs all here, so parents can sit out there, have their drink, and the kids are in here safe. And
so basically, if you brought the whole family here, so if mom and dad want to go eat at the bar, they're over there.
Right.
If one of them want to go play pool, they're over there. And then with the kids, they got their own space over here, so everybody has their own spot.
Right. And then the kids sometimes go out there. We have like those mini cars, so the kids go out there and then have a ride around, have fun with some of the, employees, and just to distract them from their parents so that they enjoy.
Well, in many ways, this was truly a multi-family, multi-purpose facility.
Right. And I always got the question like, this place is so nice. We're having fun. We don't want to go back to town. Can you create something upstairs, like a nice, resting place and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay. So I started thinking about, transforming the last 2 floors into apartments or a hotel.
Okay.
You know, so that is still in the pipeline. That's something I'm still looking at because
Okay.
with the location, that has a lot.
So your first floor was really where you had things going on with development.
Yeah.
You had developed second and third floor.
No, the second floor was just sometimes we use the space for what do you call it, weddings
Got it.
and occasions.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next spot. So this was the kids spot.
Yeah,
the
this
kids
was the
parlor.
kids spot.
Okay. All right. Step in. All right. So we'll go. All right.
Okay, so in here we had a mini mart. We had like American products.
Ah.
Yeah, like all the nice lotions and makeups, food.
So rice wasn't in here.
No, rice wasn't in here.
Oh, that's just for now.
Yeah, right. Rice was next door.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
but we
right.
just moved it in here.
Oh, so I see with the shelving and everything.
Yeah,
So
so with COVID, we lost all of the products, like everything else that was in here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because everything expired.
Right.
We had to shut down because businesses were not allowed to open. So I had to move to my village because I couldn't bear sitting here and
Right.
seeing the business close. So I moved to my village for 7 months. And when we came back, everything was messed up. Yeah, so we had to just clean the whole place.
So this was a market.
Yes, this was a market, like a mini store.
Right,
Where
right.
you come in, you can get
A convenience store.
convenience store.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So one more next door.
Yes.
All right. Let's go to the final room on this floor to see what we're working with.
Yeah. So this last room, right here,
Okay.
have a story.
Oh, this has a story?
Yeah.
All right. I want to hear the story.
This story is, this is where I slept on the floor. I think you can see this is where I have my TV on the wall. And then I have my mattress right here. I have a little bathroom there. And these doors were closed permanently.
Well, I see those are some heavy duty doors.
They are, but they were shut.
It's like a bank vault door.
I know. You had to do it for security. So those ones were closed, and this was where I hung my clothes until I did all of the projects in this place.
Wait a minute. So when you built this, you stayed here?
Yeah, I stayed here when it was not completed, like when I was still doing the upper floor and the last one.
How long did you stay here?
3 years in this room.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. But it was peaceful.
No wonder you said there's a story in this room. Wow.
So this is where I stayed and then did everything that I did in this yard.
So was this the first room? So you knew you were going to stay here?
Yeah, I finished this first.
So you said, hold up, I'm going to basically build my apartment first.
Right.
While you then build the rest.
Yeah. So, because most times I used to sleep in my car outside. So I'm like, okay, I'll just fix this one up because I have to do other construction. I work for the World Bank, the National Housing Authority, the GIZ. So doing those projects, you don't have time to do stuff for yourself, and that's why sometimes you don't get things the way you want because you're not on the ground.
So you had a mattress on the floor?
Yeah, yeah.
So you didn't even bring a bed post, you just mattress on the floor?
It was so comfortable. It was comfortable. I enjoyed it.
Wow.
Yeah. So doing other people projects, you come from the sites, the other sites, pretty late, and then you need to spend time at your project. So you don't have time to go home and or live somewhere else. So I just decided to move on ground.
For 3 years?
Yes, for 3 years.
Wow. So it took 3 years to build?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because you have to do it little by little. You work, then whatever you get, you put, you work.
Make money, put it to the building,
Little
make some money,
by little.
put it into the building?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I got you.
And that's why I took everything out of me, hoping that, okay, I'll just invest, I'll just do whatever, put everything into it. And then I'm very sure that in a few years, things would be great. And then when I started the little, restaurant and all that stuff, and it used to really do well, and I was like, okay, this is hopeful. So kept on putting in everything, and only to get COVID coming in.
All right, we're gonna go look at upstairs, because I think you said you had banquets or something like that.
You mean up?
Yeah, we'll go up. All right, so we got big old wide open space.
Yeah, so this is the place we use as a hall for now, just to keep the space going. But the initial intention for building it the way it's built was for furnitures, like local Liberian furnitures.
Oh, so that's why you have
Slanted
and
windows.
so that way, yeah, they can see the furniture from the
Right,
road
yes.
and stop by.
Right. So we try to build a workshop in the back of the building so that we create all of our own furniture using the local Liberian wood. But yeah, the space is here. Now we didn't get to do that yet, so we use it for weddings, trainings, etc.
Got it?
Yeah.
Got it. So you thought about that in terms of, but clearly the furniture thing, how that changed, but then you just simply said, all right, let's do something else.
Yeah.
So what you did, wedding receptions in here?
Weddings, birthdays, parties, conferences, like little, trainings and stuff like that. But this is where I was telling you about hoping this place can be turned into a kind of training institution
Right.
or something.
And then there's a third floor.
There's a third floor that is even wider than this one. Because with this one, we have petitions.
So basically offices.
Yeah.
So upstairs is what, one is
It's
large
just-
room?
Yeah, it's just one large room.
Okay. All right. So
Yes, we go upstairs.
we'll go upstairs?
Yeah.
All right, then we'll go in the back
Behind, yeah.
to get the water.
Right.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Already. So in here we have a drawing that can give me about 12 nice suites.
How many?
12 nice suites.
12 nice suites?
Yes.
Okay.
And then like a little gym area, maybe like few machines. And people can come and have conferences, weddings, and still come up here and sleep. Or maybe on the way to the airport, because this building is strategically located.
So how far are we from the airport?
We're like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 minutes when I'm driving.
So that's 30 minutes for everybody else.
Yes. But it's 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, 15 minutes. So it's very strategically located.
So you said 12 suites, gym, and so you got sort of these larger windows, like it's
Yeah.
folks looking out.
Yeah, so some of these windows are gonna end up into some of the suites. Like most of the suites will be along this side.
Right.
And then the single rooms will be along this side.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. All right, so we got water
Yeah.
outside.
Right.
Okay, let's
You
go
ready?
see. Yeah, let's see what's happening outside with the water.
I know it's hot, but it's summertime in Liberia.
Oh, don't worry about it. It hit my head. I'm good. I'm good. Don't worry about it. Oh, I got a hard head. Don't worry about it.
All
All right, here we go. All right.
So this is the backyard.
This the back. Yeah, this is the backyard.
Yeah, to the multi-purpose building. And in here, we have our boys' quarters and the generator room. Then we have our borehole over there for the water factory.
Okay. And so what are you producing?
We're producing the sachet water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And then there,
And you're bottling yourselves? So what?
it's not bottles yet. We're doing the sachets.
Ah, got
It's
it.
like plastic, like
that
those,
hole?
yeah, like those plastic waters.
So this is your son's project?
Yeah.
All right. That's your son right there?
Yes.
All right, cool, Doc. What's your name? All right, then. So she tells me this is your pet project.
Yes.
All right, so tell us about it.
We have a sachet mineral water factory behind there. We produce the sachet water which we distribute in the local community.
Okay. How many do you do?
600 per day right now.
Wow. Okay. And when did you start?
Late last year. Yeah, that's when we really started to.
So I tell you, look, if your mama's an entrepreneur, you kind of got no choice but to do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this was your idea. So what? You came to her, and so tell me how that happened, and what was her reaction when it was your idea?
Initially I noticed that there was a lack of safe drinking water here, so I brought it up to her, and she definitely was interested, and she started to implement, and we started putting ideas together. And then we managed to get one machine and then one truck. So that's what we've been on.
So you have, so when you say, okay, so walk me through like what is happening here. I see all these pipes and everything. So what's going on?
So what's happening is this is a borehole, which is where we get the water from. So that's the water source.
Right.
And then there's a submersible pump in the borehole, which pumps the water through these pipes into the poly tanks. So then from the poly tank, it's then transported straight into the machine, which makes the water.
Got it. So that's going
Straight into the factory. And then it passes through all the filters
So
at the end there.
okay, where's the end?
It's all the
Where the little boot is.
Got
in
it.
the corner.
Ah, got it. Okay. So you maximizing all the building space, all the land space. Okay, so what's this here?
This is the boys' quarters. This is actually the first building I built before I finished this and before I built mine.
Okay.
Because I needed the contractors to be comfortable.
So this is where the contractor stay.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
So you just got it all
Kind of.
in one spot.
Yep. Yep.
Well,
So
cool.
there we have a cold storage, imported cold storage, and then a handmade, locally made cold storages, the other two.
Right.
And we did that because considering the water idea, he wanted to sell frozen water also, and Kool-Aids, and
Right.
stuff like that, milk, like yogurt milk,
Right.
and stuff like that. So we got this. This is a cold storage.
Uh-huh.
And the other second one, the white door, was for the fish because on the farm we wanted to do, like last year we wanted to do fish farming.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so our intention was we do the fish, we grow the fish ourselves and package and freeze and sell locally. So that's locally grown Liberian cold water fish.
Got it.
Yeah. But yeah, so that idea is still there.
Okay.
We've started, on a smaller scale, and we're looking to finding the opportunity to expand on that idea because we have the ocean in Liberia, but then most of our fish is also imported. Yeah, and I'm more into organic eating, like organic food.
Right.
So I thought it would be wise to bring local fish, like the cold water fish.
Now, plus, what you import, you gotta pay more.
Right,
Got it.
right.
And then, of course, you live here.
Yeah.
So you got everything in the same spot.
Yeah, because I want work
You
to
wanna
be
keep your eye on
accessible.
everything.
Yes. Like I told you earlier, I had my experience in Ghana where I had my first business, and I had to drive hours away, to come to work.
Like a 3-hour drive?
Yeah.
Wow.
Depending on traffic.
Man.
It could even go more. Yes. So I learned from that, and I was like, no, if I come back home and decide to do anything, I'm going to live there, so I can take advantage of.
Considering you lived in the building for 3 years, I think you've accomplished that.
And I lived there and ran the business, and it was very successful before COVID. So,
Well, hopefully you will get back to things on and popping as it was before COVID.
yeah, but I wish we can bring a better idea and, have partners come on board so we take the idea to another level. Because I would like to see a hotel expanded behind here, like all the way in the air, and then this whole front building can just be a reception area.
All right, well, you never know. You
Yeah.
never know who's watching and listening to this.
Right.
So that might happen.
Yeah.
All right, so it's real loud over here. So let's, a little slippery right here. Okay. So this one, you talk about the 600 a day? That's what this is? Yeah. So everything coming through that, coming down, and then who's their bag and
New bags and then packs it.
and then once it comes out of here, then you load it with the truck. On the truck. Okay.
Very massive warehouse. This was the place where we were supposed to do the workshop. So this building goes all the way in the back.
Wow.
So now Mustafa is hoping when he can afford to upgrade the factory, he's going to expand into this space.
Good.
Yeah, so you get more machines and then produce more.
All right then.
Or upgrade to the bottles. Because
Right. And that's the water.
500 milliliters. 30 in a sack.
And so, what, making a drink out of this? You got a straw or something?
Just rip it out.
just rip it and drink it. And it's very safe.
This is where?
Anyway, yeah, right away.
He knows how to do it.
Oh, you stir
With
it?
your
Yeah, or you
teeth,
can do it with your teeth or your hand. Yeah, exactly.
That's it. So like a Capri Sun in Liberia. You
Yeah,
just,
Capri Sun.
you just squeeze it.
Yeah. This is one of the best water around the neighborhood. Our water, we have one machine, but we have so much customers.
Wow.
So many. How many customers do you have now?
400.
400. Excluding the ones that I have collection to, which is 130 customers on my phone. And they beg every day. And like, there's a lot of this factory around.
Right.
But we pay attention a lot to how our water is being processed. Do you taste anything funny?
No. Tastes fine.
Yeah. That's Mustafa's favorite water. So that's the water we drink.
Good job. I appreciate it.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm glad
Thanks for
you.
taking us around.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for all the effort.
All good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
You got some tan also. I got you some tan. Yes, tan. Of the population, you know, oh, if you go in the water, that is so good.
Well, you got to finish the water because you can't put the bag in your pocket and then your pocket's going to be wet.
Yeah, my friend used to do it. He's like, I'm trying not to trash the street.
See? I finished it. There you go. I finished it. Right. Because I said, hold on, I got to finish. You can't even leave a little bit because all of a sudden it's going to be a wet pocket.
So like I was saying, I hope that they can look at it from a different angle. We know we don't have all of the infrastructure and all of the attractive things happening right now compared to other countries.
Right.
But it would be nice if they can also come and experience life from the dimension that we as entrepreneurs in Nigeria are experiencing. You know, we need 50 Cent to come here. To me, 50 Cent looked like a fella boy from my mother's village. You know, serious. You know, he can pass so easily for that. You know, and he can make so much difference and so much impact just by coming down and, you know, going beyond his, you know, his comfort zone.
Right.
A little. And then I say, what's this guy? Kevin Hart?
Yep, Kevin
Looked
Hart.
like a guy. You know, Liberians are very diverse people. So he looked like someone from the president's county. Crown, you know, Bassa. And then I say P. Diddy looks like a mono boy from Nimba. I'm serious. That's how I see them. And I think
So which county am I from?
you are from Lofa. You're from Lofa. You can pass so easy for looking.
Really?
Yeah. They all look a bit like you, and they are very productive people.
Cool.
They used to be the coal basket in Nigeria. And my country was protected at one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So let people come back to Liberia and see if they can find other interests. You know, you can come a few days and just, you know, experiment. You never know what impresses you might not impress you.
Right.
You
Right.
know? And we're going to work hard. And like I was saying earlier again, that the tourism sector need to work with creative people.
Got it.
People with, you know, innovative minds.
Got it.
That can collaborate with them to really bring some of these things.
Cool.
Some of them don't cost a lot. They just need the idea.
Well, trust me, they'll be watching and you can let them know. All right, then. I appreciate it.